center when it comes to development. Pero I think sa isang banda gusto ko talaga ako, honestly, we were really like, not just me, even my organization wants the ASEAN to be a power block, to have stronger voice. The ASEAN, this part of the world, in terms of political influence, the ASEAN is like everybody's poor cousin.
No, yeah.
Even Africa, yeah, there are more countries in Africa that are poorer, mas magulo, but they can come in as a block. When we're discussing things at the WTO, when we're discussing things at the UN, they come in as a block. They can definitely say, this is not going to happen because we don't like it to happen, and the African states will vote as one. Not all, but a lot of them will vote as one. And that's it. Tigil ang WTO. Di ba, ang daming mga agreements na hindi natutuloy. It's not going to be helpful for our region. Tigil natin to. And the same holds true for South America. Most South American countries are even, in far worse shape than the Philippines. The problem with drugs, the problem with trafficking, the problem with environmental denudation, kasi laki pa ng forest cover nila doon, ay grabe. They can come in as a block. Whether it's an issue it's an issue that has something to do with politics, or it's an issue that has something to do with economy and development. That's here. I mean, really now, do we come in as a block? Usually, if you go to the UN, I don't know what your teachers are telling you, but I've been to the UN in discussions, especially the ASEAN nations bickering among themselves. They can't have a single position on anything. The Philippines will listen to the US. Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia will listen to China. Malaysia, every now and then, will listen to UK and Australia. Indonesia will listen to whoever. So we are constantly being divided.
So sir, parang wala pong system sa loob mismo ng ASEAN.
Ang ASEAN may system. Ang ASEAN may system. Pero ang problema naman sa system, how does it figure in terms of yung
influencing
integration as an economic bloc? How does that system figure in? Is it really being followed by the letter? Is it meron bang accountability na totoong nangyayari pag hindi ka sumunod kung saan ang pag-usapan sa ASEAN bloc? Most of the times we come in and we decide not to do anything about it. We come in and we decide, okay, sige, we'll just let you deal with China. We're not gonna come out with a singular statement against China's intrusion in this part of the world. We'll let you deal with China. Again, as I've said, Myanmar, okay, you have spoken. Okay, that's it. Let Myanmar.
Nagiging third party lang po yung
ASEAN. Para siyang mediator na
walang silbi. Third party.
Again, hindi ko lang magasabi ko, tinuturo sa inyo ito ng mga teachers. Ano ba yung silbi ng ASEAN sa iyo bilang estudyante? Sagutin mo sa akin yan, di ba? Sana makapagbigay ka, lalo na kayo ay mga estudyante ng UST. Hindi ito isang simpleng eskwelahan. This is one of the better institutions, academic institutions. And I would expect, bago ko tanungin sa nagtalakad sa kalye, may masasagot pa kayo na ano ba naging silbi sa inyo ng ASEAN? O ano nakikita niyong silbi ng ASEAN? But, sa isang banda, yung sinasabi ko, we want the ASEAN to be effective. We want to be a powerful, if not the most powerful bloc, but an influential bloc sana within the countries inside and even the countries outside. When we say we have talked to the ASEAN on matters relating to, say, the refugee situation in Australia. In Australia muna, pinakamalapit, hindi muna sa Syria. In Australia, they will really think about listening to what the ASEAN has to say. When, for example, right now we are dealing with, we have bilateral agreements with different European states, the Philippines, trading and what have you. But the EU figures in kung paano, kasi meron din sila mga rules and regulation on how to trade with co-EU, with the EU countries. We cannot deal with Germany without dealing with the EU. So hindi naman natitigilan doon. Of course, Germany can still continue, pero may mga parameters na kailangan sundin. And the EU figures in so much as the EU as a bloc is also very much involved with development of the Philippines. So ganun sana yung gusto natin makita sa ASEAN. ASEAN as a bloc is figuring in the trade, economic trade with China, for example. I mean, the Philippines itself cannot go against a behemoth like China. But I think 10 countries will have a stronger voice against a behemoth. No? When China is trading at palaging one-sided. China is very powerful. It can actually make sure that it's going to be a one-sided position. No? Na sila ang pinakalamang. The Philippines can definitely not go against it. Ang hirap. Let's be honest. We can cry foul all we want, pero mahirap. I mean, especially when China has so much money pouring in the Philippines. But if you say it's the Philippines, Malaysia, and Indonesia having a singular position on a certain trading issue, why not? Make it bigger. Include Singapore. Put in Brunei Darussalam. Oh, sama na natin lahat. Stronger. That's how ASEAN should be. Sana, no? And again, the reason why Amnesty International is also very much involved with the development of the ASEAN, because we still see potentials in the ASEAN. Not just with regards to the politics, policies, trade, peace and development, but also with human rights. You know, there's a lot of potential. Nagkaroon na ng declaration. Maraming kulang sa declaration, definitely. No, maraming tayong reklamo dun sa declaration. Hindi lang dun sa proseso, pati dun sa final document. Pero yan na yung lumabas sa declaration. There are so many potentials to better that declaration, and there are so many potential to make sure that that declaration will translate into conventions. Human rights convention, kahit regional. We have international human rights conventions, definitely. But there's no power that is going to stop us to make it stronger in the region. No? There's a lot of potential, say, with the Philippines being able to put a little bit of pressure and influence with its co-ASEAN states in, say, adopting a long-lasting moratorium against the death penalty. Not necessarily repealing their laws on capital punishment, pero magkaroon ng moratorium for 10 to 15 years. No executions, no? Towards the abolition, pero no executions muna. Turo na pag-aaral kung effective ba ang death penalty when it comes to curbing drug-related crimes in Thailand, Indonesia, in Malaysia, and in Singapore. No, tingnan natin yan. I think it can also help to give more voice and power, say, to the smaller. When I'm saying smaller, not necessarily smaller in terms of pero smaller in terms of influence, like ASEAN states like Cambodia and Laos. No, Cambodia, for your information. It's still mired in corruption, and there's lots of problems in Cambodia, pero policy-wise, it's trying to do its best to adopt progressive policies in human rights. Now, the ASEAN should be able to help Cambodia put out more voice in terms of